Hey everyone, my name is Amar. I'm a social worker with the Center for Addiction and Mental Health's FICE program, and I'm a PhD student with Laurier's Faculty of Social Work. This presentation is for social work students wanting to expand their skills in crisis intervention. Today, we're going to talk about using grounding and distress tolerance techniques in crisis intervention. So, people experience states of crisis and distress because they have real life problems that they don't know how to solve. Relationship conflicts, finances, housing, work, school, medications, substance use, social stressors, and all different kinds of problems can all contribute to crisis situations. Of course, broader structural issues like racism and systemic discrimination can also set the foundations for crises. Though today we're going to focus on helping people take the first few steps toward regulating their emotions so they can deal with the big stuff more effectively. Challenging life situations can trigger complex emotions like anger, anxiety, and stress responses that can feel overwhelming. When the emotional centers of the brain get overactivated, it becomes difficult to access other parts of the brain that are responsible for concentration, memory, and problem solving that are essential for dealing with life's challenges in a reasonable way. The first step in crisis resolution involve helping the client get to a calm state where they can think and plan for the future more clearly. The skills I'm going to discuss today are borrowed from Lisa Najavitis and Marsha Linehan's treatment manuals for people with post-traumatic stress disorder, substance use disorders, and borderline personality disorder. So this is the DBT Skills Training Manual by Marsha Linehan, and here's Seeking Safety by Lisa Najavitis. So they can be applied in all different kinds of ways, and I'm going to show you how I use them. So I've been working in prisons and shelters for a long time, and when someone's admitted to jail or shelter for the first time, they're understandably distressed. I use these skills to help people cope and to get to a place where they can focus on what they need to get done. These are a combination of grounding and distress tolerance techniques, but it's important to remember that there are lots of different grounding or distress tolerance skills. These are just a few that can be applied quickly and that have worked for me. Over time and practice, you can develop your own methods, but for now, I'd suggest using them this way. First, I want to introduce my amazing wife and role-playing partner, Chelsea. Come on in, Chelsea. Thank you very much for helping me with this. I definitely owe you one. Um, so right now, I just want to start by asking you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed or distressed do you feel?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Not very. So, like 2 out of 10, maybe?
2 out of 10? Okay.
Mhm.
So now, in order to demonstrate the application of these skills, I need you to feel a little bit distressed. So what I want you to do is to please think about something stressful, like something really bad that's happened to you, or something that bad that could happen to someone that you care about.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you get this image in your mind's eye?
Yes.
Okay. So now, as you start to think about it, um, what do you notice going on in your body?
Hmm. Um, I immediately kind of felt a tightness in my chest.
Yeah, I noticed you swallowed there as well too. So
Mhm.
maybe your throat was getting a little tighter,
Yeah.
drier. Okay. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your stress level now as you think about this terrible thing?
More like an 8.
Oh, an 8. Okay, so it went up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I want you to do is to tell me 5 things that you see in this room and tell me what color they are.
Okay. The lamp,
Mhm.
it is gray.
Yes.
The plant, it's green. The chair, that's pink. That's 3 things. Curtains that are white, and a blue cushion.
Okay, now I want you to notice 4 things that you're touching and tell me what they feel like.
Okay. I feel the carpet under my toes and it is soft. I feel my hands together and they're a little clammy.
Mhm.
I feel my leg on the couch and that's comfortable.
Can you feel the ground under your feet?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me 3 things that you can hear right now.
The white noise machine, cars on the street, and the fan upstairs.
Okay. Tell me 2 things that you can taste.
Sweet potato fries, and that's about it. That's
Okay.
one thing.
Anything you can smell?
Dinner.
Okay. Now, I want you to take 5 deep, slow breaths, and I'm going to count 4 in and 8 out. Okay?
Okay.
Or 5 in and 8 out. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Now breathe in very slowly. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and breathe out very slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Now breathe in really deep as you can go. 4, 5, and out slowly. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now 3 more breaths. Breathe in deep. And out. Okay, now breathe in. And out slowly. Okay, last breath. Breathe in really deep, as deep as you can. And out slowly. Okay, very good. Now what I want you to do is tell me something hilarious that you saw in the past week or past few days.
No.
Something funny that...
I'm trying to think of something that Arya did.
Okay.
I'm sure there's funny things. I'm just not thinking of them right now.
Anything funny that you can think of that she's done or that she does sometimes.
Oh, she called me a guy today.
Oh, she called you a guy.
Mama, lady guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your stress level?
Better. Probably back to a 2.
Okay. Do you notice any change in your body?
Yeah, I've started to relax a bit, but I'm still like a little bit tense, I guess.
Okay. And can you tell me, like, what was Arya's expression, our daughter Arya's expression, when she called you a lady guy?
Oh, she was just teasing. She has this kind of like coy way of teasing us. So she was like, yeah, she was smiling. She was laughing at me.
Okay, and as you think about it, where's your stress level?
Better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I want to thank you very much, Chelsea, for demonstrating these skills. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. But yeah, I really appreciate your participation. Thank you very much. Like I said, I owe you one.
Yep.
Okay. So, I do this routine. I've done this routine thousands of times with people who've just lost a loved one, are having panic attacks, are experiencing trauma, lost their housing, having nightmares, drug withdrawal, or overwhelmed with all different kinds of life stressors. I want to talk about how this approach works and why it works so well. A key point to remember here is that while external stressors, things outside of us, can trigger a crisis, it's how we think about the stresses that can exacerbate distress. So, for example, Chelsea was totally calm when we first started the exercise, but I asked her to think about something stressful. So even though the environment was still calm around her, her thoughts were what increased her stress level. So how we think about a stressor can really affect how we feel and how we deal with what's going on around us. Furthermore, there are times when memories or reminders of past stressors can prompt intense physical responses. Like if we're just lying in bed and thinking about something stressful or had a bad nightmare, our whole body can respond as if that's happening again. So first, it's really important for the person in crisis to be aware of how stressed they really are and to notice their physical responses to that stress. So you notice how I asked Chelsea to pay attention to what's going on in her body. The second step was to help her scale it, to know on a scale of 1 to 10 how stressed are they. So that helps them build awareness of their stress levels and responses. The next step after that was I asked her to pay attention to 5 things that she sees around her, 4 things that she feels or she's touching, 3 things that she can hear, 2 things that she can taste, and 1 thing that she can smell. What this does is that it helps her use her your 5 senses to notice her immediate surroundings and get her focus away from what's going on in her mind. So as she shifts away from what's going on in her mind, she notices that in this environment, there's nothing particularly stressful. There's nothing bad going on, right? The bad thoughts are inside of her, and as she shifts her focus to the outside, it can reduce those physical responses. The next step is that we know anxiety and distress can change the way people breathe. People start to breathe more quickly and rapidly and shallowly when they get anxious. And then that reduces oxygen flow to a person's brain. So the next step is to help slow down her thoughts and increase oxygen flow by taking really deep, slow breaths and to help create a sense of control over her breathing. So what that can do is that helps increase oxygen flow to the brain. And again, it shifts attention away from whatever she was thinking about beforehand. So that can help, again, reduce heartbeat, reduce the quickness of one's breath. It can help them calm down physiologically. And then the next step after that was to help her change the channel in her mind's eye. So whatever she was thinking about before, we need to think about that like a TV. And when we're watching a channel that we don't like, we change the channel. So it's really important to shift away and to think about something non-stressful, calming, relaxing, or especially funny, because it's really hard to be laughing and distressed at the same time. So as she started to think about something funny that she has experienced, it helped her access her memory systems, helps her use her concentration, and it helps her reduce her physiological arousal, so other parts of her brain can become more active. And so, as she's calmer, then what I would do is I would again ask her to rescale her level of stress or distress. Re, you know, pay more attention again to her physical responses, and to notice that actually in a very short period of time, she has a lot of control over how her body and her mind respond to internal and external stressors. So what this does is it gives person a useful skill so that if they're in therapy, if they're working with you, they know that this is the kind of work you're going to do. You're going to teach them things that will give them control over their body, their brain, give something that they can work on for homework. It gives them something tangible to show them that they can control what's going on inside their lives. And if they can control what's going on in their mind and in their body, it increases their sense of control over what they can do outside of themselves as well too. So this is just a short kind of quick way of helping people reduce their distress or tolerate their distress, ground and cope with what's happening. There are lots of different ways to do this. And as you read these books, you can also develop other skills and different methods that can work for you, but I suggest trying this out and seeing if it helps. So I want to thank you very much for listening to my presentation today. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I can be reached at Amar Ghelani, AmarGhelani, @gmail.com, or my Laurier email address, GHEL0820 @mylaurier.ca. And thank you very much for watching.